Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So for today's video, we are going to be doing an NBA overpaid, underpaid tier list. Basically, we have a list of players with some of the more larger contracts here in the NBA, and we have to decide if they are worth it or not. So as we go through this, keep in mind, for one, it's just my opinion, off the top of my head, just having fun with this and stuff like that. But also, it's not going to be in terms of just like how they are as a basketball player, but how does their contract actually affect the team overall and the team's ability to get better and get to the places they want to be to win an NBA championship, right? So before we can go on this, if I could just ask you, please, that like button, because, people get upset about these types of videos, and that support really does mean a lot. But yeah, I have another screen on my other monitor with like the contracts and stuff, so I should be able to be pretty accurate with it and everything. So let's get going. Categories are give him anything, worth it, just, contract's worth it. It's a decent contract, could be better, well, I guess that's literally could be better, could be worse. So maybe I should delete, how about this? We will delete that one. It said could be better, could be worse. There we go. That feels better. That gives us 5 tiers. And you got overpaid, and just plain and simple, just buy him out, that contract, just get him off the roster, right, man? Which I don't know if we're gonna have anybody there or not. Sorry. Okay, start with Luka Doncic. Luka is getting paid $215 million with an AAV of $43 million a season. Give him anything, man. Come on now. If the salary cap wasn't a thing, this would be a damn billionaire by now or something. Zach LaVine. So Zach LaVine just signed, what was it, a 5-year deal? And his contract is sitting at $215 million per season. Definitely not a give him anything situation, but I think Zach LaVine, he's been through the rough of it with the Chicago Bulls. I was actually kind of sad to hear that he was looking at other opportunities, because like the team's just coming together, and he's gonna be a big part of that. So I think he is definitely worth his contract, and a big part, not only of the present, but also the future of the Chicago Bulls. Next up, we got Trae Young. Same situation as Luka. You give them type of point guards anything, man. Anything they want whatsoever. Next up, we have Pascal Siakam. So Pascal is sitting at, where we have this contract? Sorry, I always got to find the team list and everything too. So that man has $136 million, which is $34 million a season. I think Pascal was one of the most underrated players in the NBA last season. I think a lot of people put this stigma on him because once Kawhi left, they're like, oh, Pascal's not the guy. He can't hit the clutch shots and everything. What I saw last year was one of, if not his best season ever. And yeah, I just think he's definitely worth his contract. Not a give him anything situation. I don't know if I'm super max in Pascal or nothing like that, but yeah, I think he's definitely worth it in this case. Next up, we got Devin Booker. So Devin Booker, what's his contract at? Phoenix starts with a P, right? I hate that it's like the teams are listed like the cities, not the team names. Devin Booker 224 at $56 million a season. This was a 64-win team last year. I think you give Devin Booker anything. You give Devin Booker any money he wants. If he wants to be part of your team, you give him that money. Donovan Mitchell. I think I have him as the give him anything type of player. And I say that from a contract standpoint. That doesn't mean I'm going to go off and trade 10 first-round picks or whatever, or 6 first-round picks, whatever the hell it is, to get Donovan Mitchell on my team. But if he's on my team, he's going to get paid to do so. Next up, we got Jaren Jackson. So Jaren Jackson Jr. of the Memphis Grizzlies. And his contract, I think he just signed a new deal, didn't he? He's on a 4-year deal, getting paid about $26 million a season. Makes me a little bit nervous because of his injuries. I think when he's healthy and everything, he's worth it. But I think the injuries and just what that can mean for the team, even I don't know if I heard this correctly, but I think he's gonna be out till like Christmas, isn't he, or something like that? So, but that's only one season too. But still, just being a near 7-footer with an injury history makes you a little bit nervous. I think it could be better, could be worse. Worth it when completely healthy. A little scary with the injury history and stuff. Jalen Brunson. So Jalen Brunson of the New York Knicks. Let me look him up here real quick here, man. Jalen Brunson, what was his official contract? He's got about $26 million a season. I think Jalen Brunson was a fine player in the regular season. I think he was a really good player in the playoffs. And without that playoffs in the series that he had, I don't think he would have got paid that much money. And that reminds me of a certain player that used to play for Toronto that ended up getting a really good contract. Now, like, this man didn't have a really good regular season. It was just more so a really good playoff series, and that's Bismack Biyombo. Remember Bismack Biyombo? And he's just like, had really good playoffs. He got paid heavily for it, like $17 million a season, and he just was like fine after that. If I have to be honest, based off of what Jalen Brunson's proven, I think his contract as it stands is overpaid, with the mindset that I could eat my words on that. He can end up being really good for the Knicks. But I don't know. I think for the type of money he got, I think I would have liked to see a little bit more consistency and stuff over time. But you can't, you pay a premium to take those risks. It is a risk. It is a risk. Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal, he's not a give him anything situation. I think his contract's worth it. He's still one of the best shooting guards in the NBA. Last season, out for a big portion because of injuries also. But overall, I think Bradley Beal's still that guy and everything. I will say from the Wizards standpoint, because that's what I'm talking about. Skill set, he's worth it. But I actually think I have to bump him down to could be better, could be worse. And the reason I say that is simply because, there's some speculation out there that Bradley Beal was getting that supermax, so that way eventually he can request a trade, and that's going to put them in a difficult situation because they're going to have to try to find a trade that matches the salary of Bradley Beal, but also gain equal, or at least close to equal talent back, and that could be a really bad situation for the Wizards a little bit down the line right here. If he's loyal to the team, wants to play out his contract, and wants to be part of the Wizards, it's worth it, but maybe it's just me being a little pessimistic. I think it's me being a little pessimistic. I'm going to say could be better, could be worse. Giannis, give him anything. Kawhi Leonard. What's Kawhi's official contract sitting at? Because I want to jump towards the give him anything, but I also very much know, also he's 30. He's got 4 years left on his contract. $176 million, $44 million a season. Another player with, load management, injury history. I think his contract's worth it, but because of his age, it's not like, oh my God, give him anything and stuff like that. Like, I'm not saying 30's old, but, injury-prone players towards, once they hit their 30s, it just matters a little bit more. Rudy Gobert. Okay, so with Rudy Gobert, I did not like his contract on the Jazz necessarily because I feel like that team, it was Rudy and Mitchell and that you had to work with everything else. I actually think his contract on the Minnesota T-Wolves with the team surrounding him is actually worth it. That's because his contract is not really affecting the rest of the team, what could be put around there, because you have guys like Anthony Edwards that are on rookie deals and stuff. You got Jaden McDaniels on a rookie deal. Cat's got his money and everything like that. So when you have all that talent, you're able to absorb that type of contract a bit better for a better situation, and I think that makes him worth it. Jimmy Butler, I got to go with could be better, could be worse. And the reason I say that, let me pull him up real quick here, because I don't know if he's officially signed it yet or not. But I think he did. Yeah, it says he's got 3 years left on his contract, but I'm pretty sure he signed like an extension that's going to take him to like the age of like 37, 38, paying him like damn $46 to $50 million, something like that. So in the moment, it's worth it. Towards the tail end, makes you a little bit worried about it, right? Because they got like that Bam, Tyler Hero type of window that they can go straight into that, but they'll be paying Jimmy at the time too, though. It's the only reason I say that, okay? Tobias Harris, he had a really good season, but Tobias Harris is overpaid. And overpaid does not mean overrated, does not mean you're a bad player. It's just, he's a bit overpaid. James Harden thankfully took a little bit of a pay cut and stuff like that to make things work with the squad. But his contract, it does limit what the team can do and what they can bring in, and it required sacrifices from other players to make up for the money he's getting paid. CJ McCollum, I don't know CJ's official contract, like right off the top of my head here. I almost went to Portland, man. Times have changed. No, he is now on the New Orleans Pelicans, and he's being paid at about, it says 3 years, about $33 million a season. Oh, CJ's only 27? I thought this man was like 30. He's only 27? That's almost a give him anything situation, but CJ had really, I think he's going to really, man, he's going to be an all-star next year. I really do think that. His contract's definitely worth it. Jokic, give him anything. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I am leaning towards give him anything because I really believe in him that much as a player, and he is still extremely young. Like, he is a guy that can be part of the foundation of a championship team. But I think he's more worth it. I got to see him being able to bring the consistent wins to the team, because all these guys on this list pretty much have had really solid seasons of like winning games and stuff. Like Luka, I would say Trae Young, you know, making the playoffs and stuff like that before was fine, but he's Devin Booker got to the finals. Donovan Mitchell, Giannis, yeah. So I would say Shea, borderline give him anything, but I'm gonna have him at worth it right now. Gordon Hayward is overpaid, and you know, when he does play, he's a good basketball player, but he's getting paid like a guy that's an all-star, borderline all-star, playing 82 games a season, when in reality, he's a guy that puts up pretty good numbers in limited games before getting injured. So we have him there. Kevin Love, this one's going to be intriguing. Cleveland, 120 million at 30. I'm going to go with could be better, could be worse. A few seasons ago, I would have said overpaid. But Kevin Love really dug deep this previous season, and he became a part of the depth of the Cleveland Cavaliers that put him in a really solid place. And I hope he keeps that motivation going into next season also. It is essentially paying $30 million for a bench player, which is damn pricey as hell. But at least if you're paying that and getting something out of him. But then again, But then I think about like Tobias Harris too, where it's like he is starting getting paid a lot of money, about $11 million more. I'm gonna put him at could be better, could be worse, but I'm hesitant towards overpaid. Because also with the case of him too, it's like it's not really hurting like the flexibility of the team, because there's still a lot of young players on rookie deals and stuff like that, so that makes the situation a bit better. That makes, as opposed to, you know, Tobias being on a team of older players. Jaylen Brown, I would say, you know, we need another category here, to be honest. We need another category. We need a category that says underpaid. We need a category that says underpaid, and I'm going to add that. So Boston Celtics, Jaylen, $106 million for 4-year deal. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. My age, it was the age they were signed was 22. Okay, I don't know who I was talking about, saying they were only 27. But okay, that's the age he was signed at. Okay, I was reading it incorrectly on my end. I think Jaylen Brown is extremely underpaid, man. Like, literally, when he got his contract, everybody was like, oh, he's not worth it. That man dug deep as hell, played beyond it, and now he deserves a damn max contract. He's an underpaid player. He's an underpaid player. I mean, his contract's worth it, no doubt, but I think he's underpaid in general, which I'm sure you could probably make cases for some of these other guys here. But yeah, next up we got De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox of the Sacramento Kings is sitting at a 5-year deal, averaging about $32 million per season. I'm like, they got Davion Mitchell I like a lot. He's obviously like Sacramento wants to keep De'Aaron Fox around. I think his contract's worth it. Yeah, I mean, he wants to stick around. He's still a really good player and everything. He's worth it. Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield of the Indiana Pacers. Where are we at? Indy on my list here of contracts. Buddy Hield, 4-year deal, $94 million, about $24 million. One of the best shooters in the NBA. Could be better, could be worse. It's a shooter's league and everything like that, and he can shoot the basketball. I think his contract could be a little bit more friendly, but it could also, you know, he also could have got a lot larger of a bitchy ass contract, so it's fine. Russell Westbrook's definitely underpaid. I'm just joking. Okay, so it's like I want to put him at buy him out, but I also think too you gotta look at the Lakers' circumstance. If you just ball Russell Westbrook out, I think they'd be a worse team because of it. So he's just overpaid. Like, buying him out, it's not going to make the Lakers situation better. Now, if he gets traded to a team like the Pacers for Buddy Hield and the Pacers buy him out, yeah, I would do that. But you got to look at his circumstance as it stands. Eric Gordon, I think he's got 1 year left on his deal at like $17 million. In the Rockets situation, it doesn't really matter because they don't really owe a lot of money to anybody. I would say it could be better, it could be worse. Jonathan Isaac, if he can bounce back this season and stay healthy and play that defensive player of the year candidate that I know he can be, then his contract's worth it. But as it stands, based off the injuries and everything, he's overpaid. We haven't really seen him put in like a solid like 82-game season, I don't think, ever. And I don't think we've really seen him play consistent basketball in quite a few years. Dougie McBuckets. If I'm being honest, man, if I'm the Spurs and he's getting paid, I think he's at like $17 million a season or something. San Antonio Spurs, Dougie McBuckets is at, okay, about $14 million a season at the age of 28. His contract was weird in the first place. It made no sense to me. I know it's not going to happen, but I'd buy this man now. Like, he's going to be taking away minutes from like the depth of the team and everything. And having his contract in the books is fine, but you don't need him. You don't need him. Kevin Durant, give him anything. His age made me a little wary of that. Marvin Bagley, this is a good one. Marvin Bagley is obviously some of my favorite team, the Detroit Pistons. Forgot what his contract, I think it was like $43 million overall. Yeah, Marvin Bagley, okay, $38 million overall, so that's about $12.5 million a season for a 3-year deal. I personally have to go based off what I saw with Marvin Bagley on the Pistons, because that's his situation now. The Kings, yes, you would say that contract would not be worth it. But towards the end of the season, Marvin Bagley, since trade deadline, he was really solid, man. He's got the athleticism. I think he's going to be a really good pick-and-roll player. Hopefully pick a little pick-and-pop action, too. I think his contract, it could have been better for the Pistons. It could have been worse also. He's getting paid a little bit of a premium for a guy that hasn't proven too much yet. But I'm excited to see what happens. It's kind of like this is kind of like the average category. Damian Lillard, give him what he wants. Steph Curry, give him what he wants. Pretty self-explanatory right there. That is my list there. So I'm pretty happy with it. I guess if you want to take off the underpaid category, I think that Jaylen Brown is the type of guy that's probably worth it. So we'll do that. But yeah, man, that's all we got for this video. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.